Gemini, somebody could be his twin, the twin of somebody else. There's something that has to do with twins. So it's like the strategy is a carbon copy.
Could it indicate a repeated scandal, like something that is the same as has been seen before? And I had my card for the other woman, and it just stood out another storyline of another woman.
It's June 21st, 2024. It's Prince William's birthday. And thanks for joining me today, live or on replay. We've got some predictions straight ahead. And I'll be discussing it all today with Amber from Taurus Moon Tarot, who can help us with mysteries in the astrological charts. A special thanks to the valedictorians, the members who make this content possible. We are live every Friday at 4:30 Eastern, 9:30 p.m. GMT. This is all about how to teach you how to make your own predictions in your solar return chart. So just saying, not to make derogatory remarks of the royal family, because it's all about teaching you and your life. And if you like ad-free content, click the join button and get our predictions with no interruptions or ads. And also you can hit the bell for notifications on future shows. Check out my new book, The Secret Career Code, on Amazon. And I'm also going to be looking at the Riley Strain mystery again. Crazy news, a lot of confusion with the autopsy results for Riley Strain. And the police are still claiming that he drowned. Pretty shocking. So we're going to analyze the chart again and make some predictions for the next turn in that case. And I just dropped this latest video. Why do I keep getting fired? Make sure to check out that video or share it if you know somebody who's having career issues. Who remembers when this is about 2 years before everything kind of went down there with Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt? And I thought this was a great example of an omen or a symbol of something that was ahead. It's almost like things around us can give us a clue or a symbol. So when I think of omens, sometimes I think of this example. And we're going to talk a little bit more about the twins and the redheads. We've got just lots of different twin headlines that have been coming out. And there's my advertisement on the super wealth. Now, first of all, what you want to do when you are looking at these charts, and I'm talking to you about solar return charts, you're going to go to AstroSeek. You're going to click on the solar return year for the last birthday that you've had. If you haven't had your birthday yet, you're still going to have the 2023 solar return. And then it's going to pop up and you're going to see solar only. So you click that tab. I'm always trying to pull a new chart. And I was thinking about the coat of arms for, and am I saying it right, Southwark, England?
Yes, Southwark.
Yes, Southwark. And that is very close to the Tower Bridge, if I'm not mistaken. And so we're going to look at that chart. And I was just seeing some things, more about two things, twins, that kind of thing. And as soon as I told you about the coat of arms, you were thinking you might have that very coat of arms in your garage. And
I absolutely have it. It's just a matter of digging it out of, I know that I have it. As soon as you said it and I looked it up, I'm like, I have that. I have
my God.
I have too many that one lady with my age should have coat of arms in their house.
So funny. And when we see that all as clues, everything, we think that the coat of arms of Southwark might give us more clues. So we'll get into that. Here's something, the symbol, signs, and omens that I put up. We were talking a lot last week about a redhead coming in, twins, and interesting how we saw a lot of twins this past week, but Prince William would be posing next to another king. So that's twin energy right there that we're looking at on the Twitter feed of the Prince and Princess of Wales. And sure enough, a redhead would be part of that Gemini
Yeah.
kind of energy. And so, yeah, so what? Big deal. But what I am thinking is that this could be the sign of something else
Yeah.
that's coming. So we tend to get, um, you know, symbols of certain things. And so I thought that was one symbol. The other was, believe it was, well, it was Fergie and her daughter we put up last week. And then sure enough, this past week, Beatrice was twinning. So we put that in the
Yes.
intro. Little things seems like it's not a big deal, but I think it's going to become a big deal. This is Angela's chart, and I'm going to make it a little bit bigger
Yes.
here. This is for July 18th. And notice how in her birth chart, she has Queen in here. There's a stellium of planets in Regulus,
Oh,
but there is a huge square right around July 18th. And I think there's some kind of big fight that's brewing. Could it be between what she feels about the monarchy?
mhm.
There's a big fight. Uranus is right on Venus right here, and I believe that that's probably her rising sign. So she is shocked. I think that she might be getting some kind of uh, achievement. She's moving forward, and that's causing people to be very angry. And see if there's anything that you see with regard to Angela.
Well, I have to be honest. The first thing I see is that she looks a lot like my sister.
Really?
Thing I noticed, yes, my sister's a bright ginger. So she, from that photo, she reminds me of my sister. Let's see for Angela. Ooh. Let's see. Okay. Is she affiliated with a political party?
Yes, she is the Labor deputy
Okay.
candidate or something, but she's right under the guy who everybody thinks might win.
Mm,
But I don't know if for some reason there is some kind of I think they're talking about insubordination where she tends to split from her boss
mm,
who's running. So there's some kind of weird stuff that's happening with Angela. But
yeah.
those who know, please feel free to write in and tell me what's going on. What are you
Yeah.
seeing?
Well, I actually, the first thing I was going to say is I feel like she has a lot of options. Whatever her path is, she's spoiled for choice with the Seven of Cups. The Chariot is a movement card. It could be physical movement, it could be geographic movement, like going from one place to another, sort of, representing one to another. But the thing that stood out the most was the Knight of Wands in reverse with these and the Empress. Obviously this is the female energy, this is all Venus. Is she turning down an opportunity? If she's offered some kind of opportunity, it feels like there's a lot of rejection, but it's probably within her control. With the Chariot, I would say it's spoiled for choice, and a no and a no and a no. It's a no.
Interesting.
But the Chariot card is a successful card. You're sort of moving your cart forward and you're successful, but it's by her choices and her denial or rejection of things that are not suited. Yeah, there's an ignoring something going on with rejection.
I just feel like she will be surprised by something. She being Angela will be potentially shocked by the amount of anger that is maybe in the energy around her. And I wonder what that is. I see that Chariot. I don't want her.
Mhm.
It's almost like I don't want her riding around right after if there's a big win or something like that.
Yeah.
you wonder what's causing all of that anger. And I think, and we're going to get into the royals in a second because this has to do with the royals. I wonder if the royals, which there's so much of that in her chart, in
Yeah.
opposition or in a square there, that shows that almost that she's fighting with the royals. So I
Mm.
wonder, is there something going on where there's some anger with the royal family?
Hmm. The World card in reverse came out, and oh, that is interesting. These four, that could be her, like there's a boundary, almost like rejecting them or ignoring them. Four of Cups in reverse is like not wanting to have anything to do with it, but it's, a broader thing with this major arcana of the World in reverse. It's kind of like a rejection of something bigger than herself, bigger than just a job, a little bit bigger than her.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't see anger in these cards. I don't see.
That's good. That's good. She is, there are a lot of people who don't like the Labor Party, so I don't want to be,
Mm,
touting them, but she really supports elders, it seems. She has the long public service record, and
mhm,
so that seems to be in her favor. But gosh, this is July 18th, and a lot of astrologers are talking about how, and it's going to be a little bit before the 18th, but around that middle part, I'm going to say July 15th, Mars is conjunct Uranus. And this is, when it is uh, affecting a part of your chart, it is something where there is like a snap of
mhm.
something. So we wonder what that is, and a lot of people are talking about that right now. But then once it happens, then it moves on, and
Yeah.
then her sun, okay, right here is trining Venus in Leo. So
Mhm.
it's almost like she is the queen around that period of time. But what
Mhm.
all Uranus, transit Uranus is opposing her natal Uranus. And that is a complete change of your life. It is
Mhm.
something where, and change is good. Change pushes you out of, the pieces that you don't like in your life.
Yeah.
It just breaks you out of them. And sometimes it's kind of uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So that's what I see for her. And there's the Red Queen. I couldn't
Mhm.
believe that. It was like, oh, wow. Because
Wow.
Mars square all of these planets in Leo is Red Queen. So maybe it has something to do with what's being written about the Red Queen.
Mm.
So let's get to the most important thing. It is Prince William's birthday.
That's right.
21st of every month, he starts a new house, which is the same for me. 21 is good. It's just a change of energy. I already feel it. And
Yeah.
what a cute photo. I didn't put the whole photo up here, but they're on the beach. They're jumping for joy. And it is a wonderful message from Princess Catherine saying happy birthday. So it looks like they're jumping for joy. I hope that this continues on. Jumping also means change. It is symbol of change. And I hope that this means happy change.
Mhm.
So that is a good thing. In this show, we don't always want to talk about, the terrible things that are coming up. We want to talk about the good things. And
Mhm.
gosh, the trooping of color. Wow. Or trooping the color. Here's the transit here. And I just wanted to show you when something really good, like the royal family really needed that event.
Yeah.
It went off without a hitch. Just like you said, you had predicted 3 or 4 months ahead of time that she would be there when
Yeah.
at first it didn't seem like she would. And this is the UK chart, the 1801 chart. And we have in the house that represents a family, we have Saturn and point of fortune. It's always nice to have part of fortune next to a planet, a transiting planet, and then also being in a trine to the moon. The moon is the public. The public is just like, thank God. So it was really good for everybody's thoughts about the kingdom, and it really boosted them.
Yeah.
I think that was good. Any thoughts about Trooping the Color? Did you get a chance to catch it?
I did. I absolutely did. It was just nice to see her. It was brief, and
Was
there were
brief.
a couple moments I was trying not to look too deep into every
I know.
expression and movement, and
Mm.
just to take it for what it is, that she's well, she's there with her kids and her husband and her family. I did read one interesting note that they did go out of order on the balcony, whereas William typically would stand next to the king, but they elected, or the king, I think, decided to have her stand next to him, which I thought was really sweet. I thought that was sweet.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the balcony is the main part of this whole thing,
Yeah.
aside from the actual reason.
Yeah.
And that's what people want to see. And so the natal part of fortune for the UK is going to reflect what the public is doing and thinking. It's in the 10th house. Jupiter is in Leo. So this is a king. Everybody's happy. There's success here. There's success. Now, notice if I put an arrow here next to Mercury in the 3rd house, which represents the brother, and
Mhm.
you can see how there's a square to Saturn. The brother is in the 3rd house. The brother is not speaking. Isn't it interesting that Andrew is the brother and Harry is the brother, and
Yeah.
they are stopped? Saturn is to stop.
Yeah,
So the charts show it all, I think.
they do. Yep.
Now, today we're starting, and this is the part of Prince William's birth chart or solar return chart that we've been talking about for the past at least month.
Yeah.
And when you pull your solar return chart and you have a very big house, for him, it's when he starts his solar return year, there are a lot of planets here. And there's a big house. Like sometimes the houses are small and sometimes they're big. And it's also an intercepted house. And what that means here is that during this month, from June 21st to July 21st, it goes from Pisces energy to Aries energy. And because Aries is a little bit bigger in the 1st house, it shows me that there's going to be more Aries themes than
Mm.
Pisces. So Pisces would be photos, would be video, would be seeing Prince William in blue, because Neptune is right in the 1st house. The 1st house is what you look like. And Saturn, unfortunately, I have this in my solar return chart. I have Saturn in my 1st house, and you feel like you might look older, or people see you and they're like, oh, she's really, or he's really matured. And you can
Yeah.
kind of see that here
Yeah.
with some of the photos that are coming out right on his birthday. He looks like he's been working hard. He's
Yeah.
had a lot on his shoulders. So Saturn is going to show how people see you because it's in the 1st house. That's how people see you. So that I thought was pretty interesting. Now, you could look at these planets and you could see them as events, or you could see them as people, or you could see them as both.
Yeah.
So we've got 4 different things. Some of them look pretty good. Like he's very motivated. He's out there. He's talking. The Neptune is in a T square though. And so that shows that something's coming up. We've already talked about that, but I wanted to see if we could get a profile of some of these people that he's going to be talking to this month. And that would be from June 21st to July 21st. I thought, let's see what the cards say about these people. And why is it important? Because in the 1st house, that's the people around you.
Yeah.
It's not just how you feel and how people see you. It's who's coming in around you. And so
Yeah.
these are the people we are going to see close to him. Now, Aries could be the Invictus Games and, military types of things. It could simply be that. But I keep talking and I'm going on and on, but you get the idea. Who are these 4 people?
Who are these people? And after I ask this question, I want to share one card I pulled before we started that is making me giggle
Okay.
when we're looking at this chart. Let's see who they are. Oh, there's one. Its energy is a little popped.
Hmm.
So we do have some people in the cards. We have the Queen of Pentacles, and this is certainly could be a Catherine card. But we also have, oh, I don't know why I'm thinking this. I don't know why I'm thinking a mental health advisor, mental health something. I see like a personal, like someone personal, like a doctor, maybe a mental health doctor. And then I also
Interesting.
see someone, Temperance in reverse. This actually could be Harry. I don't know if you see that, but this is a very young, sort of, rebel styled young man. His hair is a little bit red, actually. I don't know if you can tell in this image on the camera, but it's in reverse. So it's not a great strength, but it's sort of a contemporary, which I could see as a brother.
And he's cute too. And we
Yeah.
could use that energy, I think,
Yeah.
something exciting. But reverse, we don't want that. And we have been seeing headlines about Harry missing the UK and coming back.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a possibility. But
Yeah.
that card would reflect maybe a man that's younger.
It could someone his age or younger. Yeah, like a contemporary of some kind. It's not an elder person. But I do see a healthcare provider.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, mental health is definitely one
Yeah.
of the subjects that the royals have been covering in the past few years, especially.
Yeah.
Kathy, you're saying my notification didn't work tonight. Hate to see the start with you, Val and Amber, an English woman who's lived in Spain 40 years. Love both of your work you put into your work. Thank you so much. Wow, I would love to go to Spain, and I think there are a lot of people in England go to Spain to get out of that weather. Now, you've lived there. How many
Mhm.
years did you live? Was it outside of London?
I was outside of London when I was really young until I
Okay.
was maybe 11. And then we moved into London through the rest of my high school career until I was 18. Yeah.
Okay. And my question, I always forget to ask you this, but when did you start getting an interest in tarot cards?
Probably when I was 17.
Okay.
Very long. But I started with playing cards, like regular decks of playing cards.
Yes, that's
I was
right.
always
I remember you
interested.
said that. And
Yeah.
how did you know that you were getting pretty good at it? Like, was it a while? Because you're very good at this. So you get such detail. It's
Well,
amazing.
it's interesting. It's really not necessarily for me about the cards, but about my ability. And I think I shared this a long time ago. I have an app on my phone that I train. I use this app to train my intuition to expand, to allow for. And it was created by NASA, for goodness sakes.
Yes.
And it's this amazing app. It exercises it, and I use it constantly. And I find that it works. I'm able to sort of expand my, consciousness
Right.
and allow for more time to sort of have things come through that are, more genuine, I suppose, that are not
Mhm.
from the thinking brain side. Yeah.
And that's what most intuitives and psychics, I think, would say too. They're like,
Yeah.
"Look, it's not the cards. It's just a
Yeah.
tool."
Yes.
And so, yeah, you get a lot of things not even like one card you pulled, and then you got that cybersecurity. And there were a couple of incidents just a week later of that, not
Yeah.
just in England, but in the UK. So interesting how
Yeah.
that pops up into your head. Angel was like, "Just tell me, what is it?"
It is called the ESP Trainer.
Okay.
ESP Trainer
All
is
right.
the name. Yeah.
Thank you. All right. So,
Oh, I
let's
want to share this one card
okay.
because it was literal, and it's an oracle card, and it just literally is the word will, and it's a redheaded woman in a blue dress. Just everything we're talking about with the redhead, and he's going to wear blue, and it says will. It means your will, but I thought it was interesting that it's that I just jumped and thought of William.
We've been getting so many clues about the twins and the redhead, and everybody started writing in. They were like, Prince William posed with the redhead. And so, we're excited about these things, but we know that it's just energy. These are messages that we're seeing that might tell us something bigger.
Yeah.
And that, I think that's coming up.
Well, and this image of this one is almost an exact image of the Red Queen. I didn't know you were going to talk about Angela, but this is like from a playing card. The Red Queen is the Queen of Hearts on the deck with that hair, and that's exactly what the Red Queen looks like. She's very strange.
You wonder if, because she's always, I'm not going to say always, but from what I've seen, she's been respectful of, and she's even defended the royal family. So
Yeah.
you wonder, maybe if she is coming in some way, shape, or form, maybe there's some kind of an alliance or something. I don't know.
Mhm. Yeah.
So, all right. On to the next one. Yeah. So, we've talked about this before, but this is coming up, I would say, maybe in the next week, maybe. And this is the T square here, where there's just a lot of talk about, it looks like a famous woman. Now, of course, they're all famous over there. Could be Princess Catherine. But there's also and then I promise I won't say anything like this the rest of the show. But Saturn square moon is a death. It's a funeral. It's something. So, and this could be just something like, his cousin or something like that. But it looks like it's coming up. Like, I'm going to say in the next week where there's some kind of Saturn moon combination. That means black. It means depression, funeral, death. And it seems like he's going to be involved in that somehow. Could you give us some kind of a better idea?
I want to use a different deck for this question. Interesting. Okay, so let's see. In the next week, very close timing. Let's see. I could see this as someone unexpected that's young. Possibly that it's not expected because of their age with the Page of Swords. And they might be notable or someone known. I don't know about fame, but the Six of Wands is there too. That could just be a processional. It actually, the image does show sort of a processional, and that could certainly be a funeral, but they're young.
That's nerve-wracking. And, yeah, and the Mercury squaring all of this stuff, this does show a young person, and I'll show you in a second, but go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was going to say, I feel like it's someone that's, known. It's not a known name.
Well, let's see. So it would be Saturn is in Pisces. This could be somebody with blue eyes, somebody who has dark hair. It's a square to the moon. And so it does mean the moon can mean someone famous or somebody that I wonder if it's something that it could be somebody either in a foreign place. Ninth house is a foreign land, or it could mean like ninth house is somebody from college, something like that. But it sure does show that this event seems major in this first month here because of Black Moon Lilith. And this is, the nefarious, what the hell happened? And it's in Virgo, which means maybe at work. It could be a health issue because Virgo is health, but there's a lot of criticism around it. It's a weird combination there.
Yeah. And I do have the Hermit card, which is Virgo. So that makes sense.
Okay.
Small person.
Okay. All right. So that would be that Saturn there. And then whatever happens, like it obviously looks like the monarchy, which I assign as Pluto. It looks like it's super supportive of him all year long. Why? Because you've got this big grand trine. I shouldn't put it in red, but whenever you have a grand trine, and I've said this before, in your solar return chart, it's like, oh, thank God, something right is happening, something good is happening. And so Pluto, this can also mean technology, drones,
Mhm.
being able to see ahead of time, being able to see your foes coming well ahead of time, and that helps a lot.
Yeah.
Not that he has any foes, but he sure looked. I thought he looked great though. These last few photos that we've seen him in, he looks like a prince, doesn't he?
Mhm. He does.
Let me show you real quick. It's like two towers. It's two towers in the Southwark area. So that's what coat of arms tab, and this is or chart, and this is what it looks like, and it's pretty interesting. Of course, it's got Leo, lots of Leo, because the kings probably drive through there often, and Moon, just lots of famous people. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they're
West End, I think that's in the east.
okay.
It's not an area that I was frequent.
Okay, we'll ask the viewers, but it sure looks like there's some wealthy people there because of
Yeah.
Leo. Leo, it could also be an area of law enforcement officers is special about them, maybe the royal police or something like that.
Yeah.
So this is interesting because we have Saturn rolling through Pisces right now. So Southwark is about to go through a Saturn return. So seems like there are going to be some new things happening, and with gosh. Black Moon Lilith and Chiron, you'd have to be very careful. The nice thing, though, about this stellium here, which is tends to be strong, there's a trine here so it certainly seems like they've got support from people who matter. Okay, so here is the Southwark transit progressed chart for July 15th. And it's kind of a doozy. And I think it has,
Mm.
I think there's a redhead. I'm assuming it's going to be Angela. But why? We've got Venus here in Leo. This can be a reddish or reddish blonde, red or reddish blonde woman. And it is conjunct Jupiter, which is the chart ruler. And look at this. There is an opposition to Pluto. And that's tough. That's like a complete transformation of some sort. And it's almost like a birth that it's just delayed. They're in labor. So, yeah, I'm thinking there's two things that you could say. Two things are, one is it could mean something that has to do with politics. Second, it could have something to do with the security of the area in general. And so I wondered if we could talk a little bit about maybe specifically the Tower Bridge, because we always get the tower. You always do.
I
And
did.
I
I did.
always, what's that?
I did.
Yeah.
As you were showing that slide, that card came out. Like moments ago, it came out.
Whoa.
While you had it up. Yeah.
It's definitely Spirit's trying to tell us something, I think.
Yeah.
And so that to me makes me think that there are some security things that need to be ironed out around that area, around that bridge. Maybe it's almost like the bridge falls. So Eleanor is saying another psychic predicted she will take over from Keir Starmer. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Keir Starmer is, I hope I'm saying that right, is the front runner. It seems everybody thinks he's going to win for prime minister, but his deputy is Angela. So it's like we keep getting Angela. Why? Southwark. Thank you, Angel. Okay, I knew I was saying that wrong. I know. It's an, oh my God, the tower. The tower keeps coming up for Southwark, Angel D. Southwark. Okay. So, God, I learned so much doing this. Who knew? You know what's I know, it's almost like a code, exactly.
Mhm.
So let me go back to this chart. And, we have Virgo at the top here. Virgo, and this is labor, this is workers.
Mhm.
And it's a straight drop down. Now,
Mm.
this could simply be somebody gets elected and then there's a scandal that happens where they get ushered out or something, but it sure looks as if there's something, because Saturn is going back and forth here in
Mm.
the 3rd house of locals.
Mm.
They're being stirred up in Southwark. Uh, w-
Mm.
what is it? What are the locals being stirred up about? And I am looking. The problem is we've got Black Moon Lilith, Chiron, and Saturn all together. This means harm. I think that's harm.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
don't like to say that, but is there? Could we ask maybe Spirit what can be done to thwart this? Will there be something that's done to thwart this? I'm looking for some kind of a storyline here. What's happening with all of this 3rd house and
Mm.
Saturn and harm and all of that stuff?
Mm. This is really interesting. When we first, were talking about Angela, and I had that 7 of Cups. A lot of repeat cards have come up now talking about her again, but the 7 of Cups, the Hermit, which is again Virgo, different deck, Queen of Pentacles, feminine, in power with the Emperor, but the 10 of Swords in reverse, which is a good sign of avoidance. But here's what came to mind. What came to mind is what do they call a shelter in place? It was some kind of like, I mean, I've had
Yes.
it happen
Yeah.
where, the schools or things where it's like a shelter in place. What could help is, and this is not the way I intend to say it, but this is all I can think of, is like, it's like, look over here, and then like a distraction, like we're over here and bad guy goes that way. Something where it's like shelter in place, and there's like a strategy to funnel out the bad thing,
It's
bad
like
guy.
Die Hard. It's like Die Hard 2. Remember the bank robbers, they were, trying to create chaos in the streets, and then
Mhm.
they went and robbed the bank.
Yeah.
Now, that's interesting. So some kind of diversion or a distraction. Definitely
Yeah.
Saturn in the 3rd house. I wonder how they're doing with traffic right now. It looks
Mm.
absolutely miserable and everything is kind of stopped.
Yes.
Uh, and also, with all of that energy in Pisces, that can show the waterfront and the boats. So, is there any way we could ask? It's funny. Sometimes I just ask you, I'm like, what about the churches? But it's like, now I want to know, what about the boats?
Oh, let's see. I definitely get a very strong message about having like a stay at home order. Um, hmm. So much in reverse for that question. King of Pentacles in reverse. This might be like with boats. It's like help is delayed. Help is not available or is denied. It could even be denied or delayed. And this is interesting. The High Priestess here in reverse is this another redheaded woman. In this deck, she's redheaded. In other decks, she is not. And this could be denying some kind of assistance or being blocked to provide assistance or help, or
Interesting.
delayed or very delayed.
And
Hmm.
when I look at the top here being Virgo, that it still could be health related. It still could be some kind of scare where people are. I wonder if it's a ploy to say, hey, it's really dangerous. You better shelter in place. And like you said, it's a diversion of some sort. So
Yeah.
That's a possibility. Okay. And this is Southwark, and Saturn is the chart ruler, and Uranus has been in a square with it, which means like there there's a lot of pieces. It's if things feel a little bit shattered, and there's an upset to the foundation. And so that's been happening for the next few months or the last few months. But now you can see July 13th to the 15th, and this is what a lot of astrologers are talking about right now. Um, Give or take, Mars is going to be conjunct Uranus, and it's right on Algol, which is basically heads roll. And then it's done. That's the good news. It's like it's something terrible, and then it's like for the everybody's fighting, or there's something where it has to do with Algol, which is a very feminine energy, by the way.
Yeah.
So that I think is pretty interesting.
Interesting.
And then, of course, here's the UK transit progressed. We have got, we've got a nodal return, really. It's North Node is conjunct the progressed North Node. So this means major, major things with the identity of the person. Just 'cause it's a new phase, it's a renewal. But I was looking at how Pluto in Aquarius is really playing a part between now and 2025. This is technology. This looks like drones to me. And so I was going to ask you, in the next few months, are you seeing anything where the subject of drones is going to be on everybody's mind for a little while?
Yes. Unequivocally, yes. I would say that because, and I did not know you had this in your chart. We don't confer about your chart versus my cards that I pull in advance. But the two that I had, and I thought, I wonder if this will come up, is the Aquarius card and the Jupiter, which is big and a lot. And this card has the word pow. Like it's just, impressively large, animated, a lot, and certainly visible. I have sextile. It's an opportunity. There's talk about opportunities related to experiments and technology and
All
things.
that.
Actually, there's disruption involved possibly too, of some kind. Like it could be disruptive in some way. But yes, a lot of tech. Yeah.
And it makes me think of this picture because this is a representative of jump is the word for Aquarius. And so I wonder if it's kind of a sign where, there's going to be some kind of change. So Angel D, that's a good question. Are you seeing the police or army? And I'll check the charts. Let me toss it to you while I look it up.
Yes.
Let's see here.
And I don't know if that question, Angel D, was an either or just
I think it's
either.
Either, yeah.
Maybe police. I almost feel more. It's more local. I don't feel like it's more local. But a yes to police. Maybe
Okay. Now this is a little bit of ahead there. January 25th. We would be looking at a lot of Aries. Yeah, I mean 1 degree of Aries. So absolutely. I wonder, this could be something that has to do with the new, maybe if it's a new administration, there's going to be a complete change with the police. And it's obviously a terrible situation there and in a lot of countries, including the US, where there's so much crime. So I think the police definitely are going through some kind of a transformation there.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I would say yes, but I got to say military too. I think because of Prince William's chart, the police are coming in. This is before July 21st.
Yeah.
And so there's going to be some things that are happening. North Node is a lot of police. So maybe it could be just a lot of people who are guarding for the election. That's a possibility.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's nice is, this is good. We always like to see a trine. There is a trine with the North Node in Aries, and it's with the moon. We like trines with the moon, as you guys saw in my latest video that I dropped. Why do I keep getting fired? And it's in the ninth house. It's like it's a friend from far away. Now, what's interesting is how you've got a square to a friend that's far away, and then a trine to a friend that's far away. So I guess we're seeing, let's see. I mean, Saturn really represents friendships. So a friend you're not going to be able to talk to anymore on the one hand, but on the other hand, there's somebody coming in that is helping him. Maybe like, I don't know, could be simply for work where they're doing some kind of partnership.
Hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, CR
Oh.
user. It's crazy over here in USA. Oakland, California had a very bad night. I can imagine. Yes. Angel, you're worried? Civil unrest coming. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm getting from the Southwark chart. It's just that Mars and Uranus, it's definitely what you would say, Amber, pow from that card
Yeah.
is it's a little
Mhm.
nuts. And then so it goes from Pisces, it goes from healthcare, thinking about helping others, to the Mars energy within this next month. And that is there's some anger that's happening, but here's what's really weird. I got to ask about Harry. I feel like I haven't asked about Harry, and at least, I don't know, did we talk about him last week? It feels like it's been a couple of weeks since we really
Yeah.
focused on him. But so what we would do for the solar return chart for Prince William, we look at the third house. If it's an older brother, you could look at the 11th house. But in this case, third house ruler would be Mercury. This is, whoa. Oh boy. I think I might have seen this before, but I forgot about it.
Yeah.
This is a huge, huge disagreement
Yeah.
with Harry. Somebody's fighting pretty bad. You know what? The third house ruler, being Harry, is in the fourth house. That's his home. That's Harry's home. And he does not want Harry over there, I don't think. Because all it's going to do is just create trouble.
Yeah.
Now, it's also possible that with Mercury in that T square, it shows that, what I would say to Prince William if he called us up, I'd be like, look, Will, you don't have to worry. He's not going to do what you're thinking he's going to do, because there's a T square and he's blocked.
Okay.
Now, there is
Mm.
a trine, or it's a sextile to Mars. And this isn't going to happen for a while. This might happen later in the summer. But it looks like Harry's got money to spend because Mars is in the second house. And usually when Mars is in the second house, it's like you got to kind of be careful of how you spend. You're going to spend wildly because you've got some money there. So it does look like he is going, it looks like he's got two homes. Third house is in Gemini, the twin again with Harry being a redhead. So this is another clue. The red plus the twins. This could be two homes. Usually when the fourth house is in Gemini, it's like it's a small home, or it could be two different homes that you're going back and forth in. And this looks like it's going to be pretty famous. So I think there could be some kind of a big time disagreement there. Maybe we could see what that's all about, because it looks pretty major and it looks nasty to me.
I don't know if this is accurate, but I did read that it was reported that the king had offered Harry a home in the UK, but under certain, oh, there's Will in reverse, the magician in reverse. Yeah, it's he might have a financial issue with this. Will might have a financial issue with Harry having any support financially from Charles. That could be a big part of it. Anyway, I'm rambling. I heard that the king had made an offering, and I'm curious if that is true, accurate, or straight rumor. Be interesting.
Whoa. Okay.
But that
Interesting.
it
Yeah.
was very particular with how that would have to happen. There were very restrictions. He was basically saying you can't cause any drama for the family. You can't write any books or be on TV or do any more interviews, with a lot of conditions attached. Let's see what it is with Will.
It seems like Harry's pushing for something and it is not going to work. He wants it so badly. There might be a concession of some sort where he's able to do something. But wow, this is bigger than I've seen in the past.
Wow. This is definitely not the devil in reverse for this. So this is definitely an ugly. Oh, and the tower in reverse. I changed decks for the third time, and here we are. King of Cups in reverse, which is my Charles card. He's Scorpio. So he might be sort of stuck in the middle. The Hanged Man in reverse, Five of Cups in reverse, and the Seven of Swords in reverse, and the 10 of Swords in reverse. Everything in reverse. And all of these are very challenging cards, very difficult energy. What is it about? I would definitely, it's their minds are just, it's stubbornness. It's just straight up stubbornness. They refuse to see one another's point of view, and I think the king is maybe, I'm not intervening. I'm just not going to get involved in it. With him in reverse, it's not a very supportive energy. Could be an accusation of deceit, or you told this lie. We know this, but this is what the cards are saying.
That's a good point, because I was wondering what this Virgo is. This is somebody who works with them. Could be a former, this is what I see, that Black Moon Lilith there in that little stellium, somebody who is causing trouble. And it looks like Harry is absolutely incensed by it. There is something, it's a secret. It's a secret that gets out, or that partially gets out. This is a secret. This is Harry's secret. I'm going to put an H on that one. And it has to do, it could be a worker. That devil card too. This is like the devil here in a sense, because it's somebody who's doing something nefarious. But there is this person in the second house. So let's see who Mars is. Mars, why would we do that? Because Mars is sextiling Harry. This is a friend. It could be a financial manager because it's in the second house, but it's a wealthy man. Could be somebody in the army or military of some sort. So that could be his kind of, lifeline or safe port. Is he has to go because of those military types of charities or something like that. But what we would do is we would look in here. It would be the first house, which is Mars. And then we'd also look at Scorpio, which is the 8th house. So Mars rules Will's 8th house and first house. Could be his inheritance.
I was just going to say other people's money. Well, the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, which is and that is the second time it was in there a minute ago and I didn't pull it out, but, and also Justice in reverse, which is, in layman's terms, if it were just us regular folks talking, this could be like a loss of inheritance in the court, through the courts, losing a court case that was financially tied,
And
losing.
yeah, and that'd make you mad. Absolutely.
Yes. Yes.
And yeah, and let's see, might as well see where Megan is. We will, let me show the chart. And let's see, Megan would be the 7th from the 3rd. So you would go to the 3rd house of brother, and then you go to 7 houses because 7th is the partner. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which would be the 9th.
Mhm.
And that's weird. Okay, so that means she would be Jupiter. She's down here in the 3rd. Jupiter in Gemini. 2 Megans? What does that
Ah.
mean? What's that? 2 Megans. Megan's
Hmm.
twin. Megan's talking. Oh God. Megan's talking again. And this is going to come in, it looks like August 21st.
Hmm.
She's going to be talking about something important and
Hmm.
potentially dramatic. But she's got access here. Really, this is weird. Now I'm a little confused because we usually say that Pluto is the monarchy.
Hmm.
So this could mean she has easy access to information about something, about the monarchy, and she could just be talking. But there seems to be some kind of conversation happening, and it's really helpful to her.
Hmm.
So, all right. So here's a question for you, and this will be the last one. But
Hmm.
who's Megan talking to? And does it have anything to do with somebody in the firm?
Let's see. Yes, it does. That was the first question I asked. I did it in reverse, and it brings up this home card, and it's the castle, 4 of Wands. This is, I definitely see
Amazing.
this as a royal home. And it is,
Ooh.
yeah, let's see who.
I'm getting chills.
Wow, I just got chills when I pulled this 10 of Pentacles in reverse. It's finance. It's another sort of, this is an inheritance loss too. It's the same exact message. It's very interesting. Is she talking about it, thinking she has something to add to the conversation about it? Oh, whoa, wait a minute. This could add the Chariot card. This is selling a home.
Oh.
She could be selling a home. Maybe it's not a financial benefit. There's like a lot. It's like if I imagine someone selling it not for top market and maybe losing money on a
Oh.
home.
I know. I need a cup. I'm going to start selling cups. It's going to be a doozy. Oh my God. Oh, Bucky Clayfan, sorry about that. I didn't show your comment. Were Wills and Harry fighting before Harry married Meghan? I think they've always had that kind of, um, relationship. Someone's pushing buttons. I wonder if they're going to give them an old castle.
It needs a lot of renovation and money dumped into the money pit.
Yes, and Angel, you were saying at the same time as Amber about
Wow.
selling a royal home or something. So
Yeah.
a royal home, South Node in Libra. Yes. Let's
Mhm.
see. Let's see. South Node. Oh, okay. All right.
It
And just
touched.
this one last comment. Let me do this real quick. This is getting rid of something. Okay. And it looks like Megan is able to get rid of something. And it's a good thing. She's like, take it.
Yeah.
7th house, this could be a partnership, but the 4th house this is about the home. This is really brewing. God love him. Harry's wanting to move back to the UK in a very difficult time. So that could be part of the whole issue of wanting to move forward. But it looks like he's trying to do something secretly. This is a secret, and the secret is thwarted. So we're going to have to see what that is.
Yeah. Interesting.
Well, this has been a doozy. And Angel D, you said, Val, you need to have it. It's going to be, yes, it's a good one. Good one. There is talk of them getting a home in High Grove, yes. But I
Oh,
think this is just the beginning. It's the chapter 1.
sweet.
So we will put all of the information if you're interested in a reading with Amber in the description box. And Amber, thank you so